Mutahi Kagwe, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on the matters under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Point of order.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong, the nominee is meant to lift his Bible as gives
yes.
the order.
Yes. You lift it with your right hand. Go ahead.
I, Mutahi Kagwe, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on the matters under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Sit down and sign to the oath. Having signed to the oath, nominee, if you have your documentation that the invitation directed you to come with, pass them on to the sergeant to give the clerk. You have already done so? Excellent. Honorable members, I want to disclose that the nominee was my yearmate at the University of Nairobi. The nominee and I served in the cabinet of our late President Mutahi Kagwe. That, however, will not in any way impair or affect my capacity to question him on his suitability for the job for which he has been nominated. Thank you. Now, Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, in less than 5 minutes, tell this committee who you are, your background, your education, and why you think you are suitable to hold office for which you have been nominated.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, members of the nominating committee. First and foremost, before I start, Mr. Chairman, let me just say that I want to say thank you. First, I would like to say thank you to God indeed, because that is why He is why we are here today. Secondly, I wish to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency, the President, for this appointment or nomination, which I hope will be approved by this committee. Thirdly, Mr. Chairman, I very briefly will say that, as I said, my name is Mutahi Kagwe. I was born in Nyeri County, and Mr. Chairman, if you allow, as I go along, I will give the reasons. I will tie up the reasons why I think I'm suitable for this job with my background. I went to primary school in a rural school in Nyeri, and I think that is where I started the journey to this discussion here today. Most of you will remember that in primary schools, or some of you will remember, that in primary schools, we used to have what was called the 4K club. The 4K club is where we started our farming. Some of us went there. And Mr. Chairman, if you remember, the 4K clubs introduced us to agriculture. And that's why I picked my talent of planting trees and so on. Mr. Chairman, in my primary school, what we did, I lived a rural primary school life where we did a lot of work in coffee. I have carried coffee on my backside towards, to take it to the factories. First in Ishamara, if anybody knows the place, in Nyeri. We have spent our school holidays in coffee factories, where we were drying the coffee beans and so on and so forth.
You know what 4K meant?
Kuungana, kufanya, kuungana, kuungana,
kuungana, kufanya, kusaidia Kenya.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I was a member of that, and you two are a member. Yeah, that's what it meant. And Mr. Chairman,
Majority Leader didn't know that.
yeah,
I think he went to school when 4K was dead.
probably. But it is one of the things perhaps we should think about reviving as we go along.